all of a sudden there's a national conversation of like, oh,
Right.
Pac-12's got some dudes. Like, it's not SC1 ugly. It's, dude, that was a hell of a game that we had Saturday night. I called it as USC at Oregon State. It was off the charts. And I just feel that shift. Curious if you guys do as well, where you sit in your respective regions of the country.
Look, I'm gonna say this. No, I guess it don't really matter. I think the Pac-12 has manufactured a good league this year. To me, a lot of the spark has come from outside in. Not Oregon's different, but you look at, I mean, what happened
You mean like the
SC?
transfer portal?
Yeah, which I think hats off to, like, hey, make it happen. I think SC, they obviously brought in Link, bring in Caleb Williams, Jordan Addison, get it popping. And as far as like a brand standpoint, SC's a big brand, but kind of getting some swagger back to me is what I think SC's relevancy this year before they even stepped on the field was up there with the best of them. Just like the anticipation to see what they could be, how they could play it out was great. You look what's happening at UW. UW had some big transfers go there, and they're like they put it all together, and it's really cool to see. So to me, I think, like you said, I think the balance right now in that league is really cool to see. As far as like, I think to me the biggest test I think would be a testament to the league is they're competitive amongst each other. I would love to see some Pac-12 teams stay up there. Obviously, have some competitive losses because somebody's got to lose at some point. They're all gonna play each other. But then for these New Year's Six bowls, some of these bigger bowl games for Pac-12 to kind of get some key matchups against a Big Ten school, an ACC school, an SEC school, and get those wins. To me, that would be a really good look for the Pac-12. Along with let's say you get a team in the playoffs, that'd be great too. But I think just like having those like that 3 to 7 range, those being strong teams this year.
What do you think, Clint?
Well, I mean, I can just speak for me. I don't have a whole lot. To be honest with you, I don't participate typically, or I'm not really involved in many of the conference to conference, who's stronger, what's going on, versus the other. So the only time I really have that interactions with you guys, I don't. For me, it's personally, if USC is playing good football, I think it changes the entire landscape of the Pac-12. It's a blue blood. It's the brand. It's Lincoln Riley and all the drama that was around it, the transfer central. But call it what you want. When they're playing good football, I think, and maybe I'm guilty of it too. I think that's one school for me that when they're ranked high and when their record's good, I'm like, this is legit, man. Let me tune in. This is, if everybody's saying SC's good, I gotta see what they got, because I know they got dudes. I know they're spitting them out to the NFL when they're right. So maybe it's the big boy over there, or the blue blood over there, maybe that brings my attention to it. But I know right now for me, with what's going on in Washington with the Penix kid, what's going on in Oregon with Bo Nix, what I watched with Utah, I know Florida beat them, but Utah is a really, really, really good football team. And then obviously what's going on at USC, I don't know why anybody that takes the time to wrap their mind around the Pac-12 would think any less of it right now. They're playing great football.
You know what's interesting about all of that is that, you could argue one of the best wins in college football was Washington State going to Wisconsin and doing what they did in that game.
Facts.
And they're not even a part of that dialogue. So that's why I think the depth there, to your point about the new faces. How about this? Out of the 12 teams in our league, because we don't have 14 like a lot of the other leagues, out of the 12 teams, only 2 quarterbacks are starting at their school that came from high school. That's UCLA and Dorian Thompson-Robinson and Tanner McKee at Stanford, who, by the way, went on a mission before he ended up at Stanford. So the conference, I've always felt, is like the cradle of quarterbacks. That's like, again, lazy take. That's just kind of what historicals would say. But now it's right. Like, I do love the quarterback play. You referenced earlier, what league do I like best? I don't think it's close. When you look at 1 through 8 in this league, like, I'm not including guys that transfer in, like Emory Jones, like ASU just fired their head coach. They're struggling there. But you look at like Jaden Delores at Arizona. He was a player of the year last year in the league on offense as a freshman. Obviously, Caleb Williams and Cam Ward and Bo Nix and Tanner. Yeah. You can kind of go up and down the league, and you're like, Jack Plummer, even at Cal, like, you're just like, oh, like, it's kind of cool to see that. I get CJ and Bryce what they are in their leagues, Caleb, he had a down game over the weekend, but he's a real dude. Cam Rising's a real dude. Like, I just love that for the league. And I'm so happy that, like, because I do believe this. I do believe that whether you're on, another network or live in another part of the country, like, it's just an easy shot, right? A lot of times at the Pac-12. And now that our league, like, didn't get rolled in, like, a bad non-con loss, like, nobody was A&M. Nobody lost to App State. Like, nobody had a bad one of those, like, whoa, trending losses. Like, we had some trending wins, or even like the ones that were like, what happened? Like Cal Notre Dame. Like, we all know what happened on like that whack call on the field goal. Like, what happened? Like, I think Cal came out of that as respected program around the country.
It was a moral victory for sure.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. Yeah, I mean, we all hate that phrase, but like, I'm with you. Like, I think the league has garnered that respect, and what is unique about it is that I'll take Washington, who I would now, if you're like, they haven't left their home state or their home stadium. They go to UCLA on Friday night, who's also undefeated. It's going to be a tough game on Friday night. The whole nation will be watching. But I look at them and I'm like, they've been more impressive than Michigan. I think they've been more impressive than SC. Now, granted, they haven't had a road game like SC did. They didn't have to go to Oregon State over the weekend in front of a standing room only crowd. But I wonder, like, if they had some more juice in the offseason, are they top 8 team in the country? That's what's going to be fun, I think, for us out west. And to your point about playing everybody, because we play 9 conference games, we don't. So you look at UW, they don't play Utah or SC. Oh, wow. USC does not play Oregon or UW. So I think there's, like, you look at the teams now, and I could argue Oregon State's playing as good a football as anybody in the league. If USC is at the top, they got to play Utah this weekend. I'm calling their game. Right. I think Utah is going to be really talented. They get SC at home. Like, I think the scheduling this year more than ever about who you miss is going to be a thing. So UW have a path to Vegas because they don't have to play the 2 teams that I referenced. So I love the drama around it. I think no matter what, next week we still have 5 or more teams in the top 25 based on the crossover games. And I'm just excited because it's really good football. Schematics are really good. These coaches kick out to the NFL. The players kick out to the NFL. And it just feels good